Good Tuesday morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is election day in these once United States of America, man. It is go time. Going to be an interesting week. We all forget, or maybe you don't forget, but I have to remind myself of actually what happened last time. Like we're one of the only countries in the world where you like don't know the results of the election like then, but we all know why that's the case. So yesterday, I flew the jet down to Fort Lauderdale Executive Airport. I got to be honest with you, I didn't know who this guy is, Patrick Bet David, but I guess I do now. He owns the Yankees, Syrian Iranian dude, some big podcast. So we're going to his thing tonight. He owns these two massive hangars down at Fort Lauderdale Executive Airport. And I'm doing this obviously because the No Falling Here, I want to get on this guy's podcast. So he's got this really cool setup here. I think there's a bunch of people going, Candace Owen, whatever, all the folks that aren't going to Mar-a-Lago who aren't like super snooty enough. Are going to this thing. So if you guys know who this guy is, that's you know more than me. But everybody I've talked to is like, oh my God, PBD, Pat Ped David. I'm like, no, but I do now. But there he is in front of our jets. He's like, this Top Gun fighter pilot flew these jets in here. Oh my God, it's going to be an incredible event. So he wasn't there when I dropped the jets off, but they're like, hey man, this guy really wants to meet you. I'm like, okay, sure. So that's where I'm going to be tonight for the election. It's going to be an early night for me because we have our election debrief tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. And then I'm hopping in the car and driving up to Palm Beach to do a keynote. I'm getting back on the speaking circuit for MDVIP. It's a concierge service of doctors around the country who do that concierge type of service. No waits, guys available, girls available, 24/7 type of thing. And it's 100 of their leadership folks in this company. So again, I love doing this stuff. First of all, I love just traveling and meeting and doing these events. And also now it'll be getting the word of the foundation out even more through these keynotes. But again, it helps my trading because I get to work with all sorts of companies, man, and I get to see what's going on. I ain't going to tell you exactly what's going on in each company. I won't. But it'll probably help my situational awareness, right? So really excited for the event on the keynote tomorrow afternoon up in Palm Beach. There you go. We have a customer in here. So Sharon is exactly. It's a 24/7, really cool business model. In case you guys don't know, or you probably should know based on being a Top Gun Options member, I over prepare. I send like a 25-page briefing document. What are your threats? Who are your competitors? What's your overall strategy, contingency plan? I sprinkle the keynote full of meat from them. It's funny, most of the time, I go to the cocktail party after a keynote and people are like, how long have you been with MDVIP? I've just never seen you. I'm like, I was the speaker, man. I don't work here. So it's pretty cool. So I'm excited for that. I'm glad to hear that Sharon is a customer. So, okay, man, I just, I'm just super, I'm super thrilled to get this stuff behind us, right? I can't wait for the text. Isn't it weird? Like you say, stop or do not call, and of course you get 50 text messages throughout the day from politicians. It's just it. Well, no, Whiz, the politicians exempted themselves from the Can Spam Act or whatever it was. That's just fantastic. So they can spam you and destroy you. So anyway, so let's go ahead and get going. I'd probably shoot a sniper on the S&P 500 right there. That's rip your face off rally for nothing. It's probably going to turn back to 57.50. So keep an eye on that. But we got to get going because we have a lot of stuff. I just sent out I'm legging into an iron condor on Amazon. So I just blasted that out in the hunters. And I also posted that. You're welcome, solo Amazon folks. Or if they're just in solo Amazon, they're not in here right now, but now they're getting extra alerts. So we'll talk about this iron condor in a second. I'm legging into, but Amazon filled the gap nicely here. But we're going to talk about, I'm not going to steal too much of my thunder from tomorrow morning's brief or the election debrief, but we have a lot to talk about. Great interview with Musk. Joe Rogan endorsed Donald Trump. It's a little late, Joe, like the day before the election. Not that I don't think I've listened to a single, matter of fact, endorsements do the exact opposite for me. J-Lo, Jenny from the block, who didn't warn us about her boyfriend molesting young boys and raping people and using GHB, but wants to warn us about Trump. I'm sorry, J-Lo. J-Lo wants us to trust her judgment, who dated Diddy. So, and Oprah yesterday, I think it was in Philadelphia. Oprah fed, literally, young women to Jabba the Hutt, Harvey Weinstein. None of these people have been called to account. So when a celebrity endorses somebody, I'll take the exact opposite person. They're all filth. Oprah Winfrey should be called to account. All those pictures of her with young women and feeding them the Harvey Weinstein, but nobody, it's super bad. The Diddy stuff must be insane because usually they get away with all this stuff, right? That Diddy stuff has been known for decades. So something happened where the dam broke, right? I think it was a lot of the civil cases. Some of these women, how about the one lady that sued and within like an hour, she withdrew her lawsuit because Diddy swooped in and wrote a massive check. That's when the dam started to break. And then after that, it was like, okay. Anyway, wild interview with Musk. The guy nailed it. Obviously, these guys are late. I made this prediction a long time ago. I mean, Elon Musk said yesterday, he's like, this is the last election for the United States of America. All the illegal immigrants that they've flown. They closed the gaping hole in the border where Fox News was just showed people streaming in and being high-fived. ICE agents, Border Patrol officers, high-fiving people going through barbed wire. We can't have those optics. Let's fly them on an airplane to Ohio. This will be the last election of the United States of America. The United States will become California, a single-party country. You heard this here first. I told you this years ago. This isn't new. Elon Musk and Joe talking about it. I told you this years ago. When Ron DeSantis flew those illegal immigrants to Martha's Vineyard, and they went apeshit. They called out the National Guard, and they're like, we don't have the infrastructure for these people. Oh, so you expect the border towns in Texas and Arizona? That's the definition of a limousine liberal. We need to help these people. Well, here you go. No, I mean, you need to help these people. So when Kamala wins and she takes her pen and makes all of these people citizens, it will be over. Puerto Rico, the floating garbage island, which was a joke, but people don't have a sense of humor anymore, will become a state. The District of Columbia, which I'm pretty sure it's in the Constitution that it's not allowed to be a state, though they don't care about the Constitution. We will have 52 states, 4 new senators who are Democrats. They will pack the Supreme Court, and it's over with. Katie, bar the door. Turn the lights off, folks. Over with. This will be the official end of the American Republic. 200 and what's the math? Did we make it to 250? I forget. Anyway, you got it, Mark. There was this little old lady in some Ohio town. She's like, we have 2,500 people in this town who have lived here forever. There's 3,000 Haitian immigrants they just dumped in here. They dumped double the population of the Ohio town. Seriously, folks, reverse everything. Donald Trump president flying Republicans who are invading the country into blue states. They would be frothing at the mouth. But the best part about a double standard is you're always on the right side. Kind of heard, we already talked about just North Korea launching bottle rockets. Iran's blind. The most recent text or news that I got from a buddy's like, they actually think it might be tonight. Like they're doing it on purpose. It would be election night. Things are, Iran's moving stuff around, and it's unless Iran can be completely full of shit and blustering, and it'll be a limp-wristed slapback, or they're going to go big. We know, because we're bullish on Raytheon, we know that we're out of missiles, which means Israel's out of missiles, which means Ukraine's out of missiles, which means we couldn't do anything to help Taiwan. You just can't make them quick enough, folks. This isn't like, this country isn't World War II. What was it? Let me tell a quick sea story. Was it the Yorktown? The Yorktown. Battle of whichever one it was, man. The Spruance or whoever the admiral was, like radioed Nimitz, like, we're effed, Admiral. This thing's going to take a couple months to repair. The response, you have 48 hours. I think it was 48 hours. He pulled in the Pearl. Every man on the island and woman who could swing a hammer, weld, or do anything swarmed the boat like ants. I think it was 2,000 civilians. As soon as the ropes hit the pier, swarmed the carrier and got that thing back out to sea in 2 days. Mr. Proven, Google that story, please, and check my facts. No, it was Nimitz, wasn't it? Spruance, Yorktown. An example of American ingenuity. We were all united behind this thing, and the Japs, am I allowed to say that? The Japs, and man, I'm an old welder. What do you need me to do? 72 hours, maybe that's what it was. But man, it was the guy pulling in like, it's about 3 months of repairs, and he said, you got 3 days. Maybe that's what it was. Anyway, long-term bullish on Raytheon because it's free money. You know what? I haven't looked at Raytheon in like 4 days. What the hell's going on here? Selling off after earnings. Oh, we're going to have to talk about that. We're at the bottom of our range here. All right, let me drop a line in here real quick. Good thing we legged that iron condor. All right, hopefully we're skidding out of that nosedive right there. That makes sense. So I think we talked about this last week. I don't want to steal my tactical stuff, but guess what? Swung to a profit, increased guidance, the Pentagon's out of missiles. That's selling the news. Remember, this is what happens. We'll talk about that. The reason the market kind of was pulling back yesterday, obviously just waiting for the election, but also I saw this floating around some Bloomberg stuff like, hey, man, we have told Iran in no uncertain terms that we will not hold Netanyahu back. They will. If you hit them back, they're going to hit you back, and they will go oil and nuke. So get ready, man. I mean, I'm a little bipolar now, and we can have dueling, trades on, which we might, for elections behind us. Nobody gives a shit. What's Jerome doing on Thursday? 2, holy crap, Iran struck back. A couple of them got through because Israel doesn't have missiles. People got killed. Netanyahu's going to level Iran. Boom. This didn't happen last time, folks, but I told you if they hit the oil stuff, that's why Joe and Kamala begged Netanyahu, do not do this before the election, dude. We'll give you anything you want. That's what Obama promised, but lied. You do that before the election, oil goes to $150 a barrel, we're screwed. Please wait. That won't be deterred. So I'm going to say if, because I don't know. Are the Iranians bluffing? We're going to hit you back with fire and fury. Dude, you're naked. You have 0 surface-to-air missiles. All your radars are taken out. It's suicide. If it happens, This will be bad for the overall market. Okay, so cautiously bullish. We already beat Amazon into the dirt. We had a good solo Amazon brief yesterday. Could not be more bullish on Amazon. Just absolutely fantastic. I love this headline. Election jitters, not in the U.S. stock market. So it is. Oh, it was 3 days. Thank you, kid. It was 3 days. And it was the Yorktown. I got my boat right. 3 days, folks. Unbelievable. Here it is. Oh, it was the commanding officer. Captain Elliot Buckmaster sent an after-action report to Nimitz. Got that one right. The preliminary estimate was months. We must have the ship back in 3 days. That's it. Nimitz didn't have the luxury of waiting 90 days. So this is just, it's an incredible story of the American spirit, man. It was thousands and thousands of people swarming the ship. That was just fantastic. Let me give you this link, man. On an election day where I'm wanking about America and where we're going, it's incredible to remember that we actually were a great country at one point. And we're a generation removed from it. You know, my parents, maybe some of your parents it's sad. Anyway, election jitters, not the U.S. stock market, right? So, and the market pulled right back to 57.50, like I told you it would. You should have sniped right at the top, pulled back to 57.50. Perfect bounce. Why? Nobody cares, Whiz. Nobody cares. I was watching the talking heads on CNBC this morning, and people are like, it's impossible. Even if you're a hedge fund, you're Axe Capital, you have the best pollster in the planet. He's top secret. You pay him filthy money and he's not allowed to talk to anybody but you, Bobby Axelrod and Wags. It doesn't matter if you know who's going to win. They had a graphic up there. Every election since, who was it, Clinton? So Clinton, well, let me give you the bad. The 2 elections under Barack Hussein Obama, folks, within 30 days, and what was it, 90 days, whatever the metrics were, like month after the election, 3 months after the election. The only red and horrific red was both Obama elections. Every other president, I think the graphic went back to Clinton. Clinton up to Biden, up in 30 days, up in 90 days, whatever the second metric was. All of them were green except Barack Hussein Obama. Now, remember, Barack Hussein Obama had what? First of all, he was a complete idiot. He had the Fed. We had the financial crisis. I was in the Board of Trade. I was in the SIBO. VIX hit 93, 95, whatever the VIX hit. I was at ground zero. Like Forrest Gump, man. I've been 9/11. Why? You know, Bill Clinton just lucked out that it was the 90s, baby, and it was the internet coming out because Al Gore invented it. Okay, Brianna. After Barack Hussein Obama, it's all Fed. Not to beat a dead horse, investing in trading books in the recycling bin during COVID. I'm like, it's over with. I should have said in 2008 it's over with, but I kind of still believed in the American spirit of things have to be able to fail. No, Wiz, everybody gets a trophy, and men can play volleyball and punch women in the face. So, what am I rambling about? Nobody gives a shit. I care as an American, clearly. I don't care as a trader. The market's going to go up over time, period. Exactly, Mark. They had to make up terms. I'll never forget. That's back when I was doing a lot of keynote speaking. I remember being Bank of America. It was Merrill Lynch, the Thundering Herd. Remember the Thundering Herd? The government forcing. I'll never forget this. Who was Moynihan? I'll never forget these stories. Like the Treasury Department ordering, like, Bank of America, you need to absorb Merrill Lynch. It's having a bad time. What? Do it, or you'll be in trouble. Goldman Sachs. I remember so much bullshit. Barack Hussein Obama fired the CEO of GM. where's my, I think it's in my room because I put it in my flight suit sometimes. I have a pocket constitution, man. I'm one of those guys. Where in the Constitution does it say the president can fire the CEO of a company? Well, we did this type of bullshit. I'm rambling about this. Nobody cares. Trump wins, market's going to go up. Kamala wins, market's going to go up. Will we have bear markets? Yep. Will we have implosions? Absolutely. We have business cycles, but nobody gives a shit. Now, I just stole some of my stuff from tomorrow, but you get it. Here's all the market cares about. So, Fed, he did, Rick. I would have said, F you, Mr. President. I don't work for you. I work for my shareholders. But since we bailed out, why did we bail out GM? Because they're unions, Whiz. Democrats bail out unions or companies with unions, right? You know, Boeing had their strike that ended today, I guess. But yeah, Barack Obama fired the CEO of GM. How can you legally do that? Well, we're now the largest shareholder. How can the federal government be the largest shareholder in a company? Well, we're just kind of making shit up as we go. Is quantitative easing, TARP, Troubled Asset Relief Program. You know who's got troubled assets? Me. You know who's got troubled assets? Probably everybody in this country. How about us? Can you have TARP for us? No. And we're closing your business, but we'll mail you a check for $1,400. And then for the next 4 years, we'll tell people via our mouthpieces in the media that, oh, the COVID stimulus checks are still really doing well for people. You can live for 4 years on $1,400 that the government sent you? Are you insane? Although we did see, and it makes my heart smile every once in a while, seeing, Steve Johnson going away to jail for 10 years for COVID, whatever. He made up, a company and 5,000 employees and got $10 million. Holy shit, man. Anyway, nobody cares. It's this. And I misspoke yesterday. Who was it? Where's Rick? Rick, you steered me wrong unless I read it wrong. It was 98% probability of a 25 cut, not a 50. Right? Somebody double check, man. I looked yesterday. I'm like, no, I got that shit wrong. I was saying 50, and mentally, you guys heard me yesterday. If you're in solo Amazon, I said that. I'm like, how can there be that high of a percentage for a 50 basis cut? No. 25 is baked in, right? Everybody give me a vertical head nod. There's like a 0% probability of 50. That's what it was. Okay, so 25 is baked in. So I almost feel like that's why yesterday I'm like, holy shit, if we don't get 50, we're going to implode. I mean, that's just insane. So I was wrong yesterday. I kept using the word 50 or the number 50, and it was wrong. It was supposed to be 25. So my apologies for that. So nobody cares because all we're going to care about is Jerome tomorrow. 25 is already baked in. I mean, I should have realized that when I looked at the Fed funds rate here. That was a little stupid. It is 5, and we're forecasting 4.75. So 25 is baked in. Everybody got that, not 50. If we got 50, I'd almost think it was bad. It's bad. Like the market would do one of the whoa. 25 would have been fine. What are you not telling us? So 50 would creep the market out. But guess what? It's crack addicts like, why are you giving me more crack? But never mind, don't answer that. I'll take it anyway. So, yeah, Scott, thanks. Was that you? Yeah, I wrote back and said, hey, thanks for your mutual support. That was a good. Still getting spam election texts. I absolutely can't stand it. Okay, so I love this headline. Harrison Trump command the market's attention, but he's going to steal the spotlight. We're going to get 25, and it's all about the words, right? Thursday is an earnings report. 20% is him saying the jobs market is softening, but blah, 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 bullshit. 80% of Jerome's is what? The dot plot and the forward look, right? So there's your dot plot. So it's all about the forward guidance with Jerome, and it's all about the election. I guarantee you Yeah, I'm going to stick with the word guarantee. I guarantee you by Thursday, Jerome's press conference at 2:30, we will not know the presidency. Anybody disagree? I love disagreements. Anybody think we're going to get it tonight? First of all, that's physically impossible. Why is it physically impossible, Wiz? Because the 7 swing states, which many have to be Democrat secretaries of state, have told us we're not going to know tonight. Isn't that weird? You know what's even more weird to me, or weirder, is all these election lawsuits flying around. Democrats, Republicans suing, winning, judges, Supreme Court. Was this a surprise? Is what's going on a surprise? I don't understand it. A last minute lawsuit was filed immediately in this. Why? I can't fathom this. President Buckley, what's your first action in office? Legalizing psychedelics for veterans, first responders, and their families. The second action is the first Tuesday in November, Election Day, is a federal holiday. Everybody has off work. Airlines stop flying. Fucking everybody. You will show up with an ID in your hand. That's racist. Black people don't know how to get an ID. What did you just say to me? Who? That's it. And it's on paper. That's it. Problem solved. But here we are with lawsuits and last hour this. I'm like, I can't even. This country is an absolute disgrace. And don't give me shit. People are like, I can't believe somebody would like. Donald Trump said something bad about America. I'm like, you ever hear Michelle Obama? I was disgraced by this country for most of my life, but once my husband became president, there was a little bit of hope. Ew. I was very proud of my country the majority of my life. Now I'm an ew lady or dude. I'm sorry. I don't want to misgender Mike Obama. So all we're caring about is that this is a warning. I'm going to repeat this. I beat this dead horse yesterday, but this is why we're going to potentially trudge, folks. This guy does not bail out of stocks for no reason. Sit up straight and listen to me. Every time I've seen this headline in 30 years of doing this, I remember not barely knowing who this guy was. Key West Naval Air Station, reading value line reports. Remember those paper things? Anybody a value line member back in the day? Warren Buffett sells stocks. I'm like, I don't care what that dude's doing. Breaking news, 3 weeks later, a month later, the stock market's imploding. The guy is not an idiot. When the card counter gets up from the table and just kind of says, I'm going to stretch my legs, and just takes all the chips and leaves, if you stay, you're an idiot. With a headline like this, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of those times I go 50% cash. I think the most I've ever been invested, I think 80-20. Like in the COVID crash when it was disgusting. Puts at the open 75 grand within 10 minutes closed. There's 75 grand. I was using a lot of money. I still had about 20% in cash. But now when you see a Warren Buffett headline that says, I'm kind of just going to walk over here and, just, I'm fine. Boom. So dumping a boatload of Apple, dumping Bank of America, sitting in cash. A record 300. That's a B, folks. That ain't an M. 325 billion. I mean, I should say the whole number, because even the 0.2 billion is a shitload of money. Remember this. We're going to talk in a second. I already talked about Amazon. All right, so I love this article prediction. One stock that'll be worth more than Nvidia. Why? Because Andy Jassy, if you're Jeff Bezos sitting on your 7,000-foot yacht, I could land a Hornet on it. And you're looking at your monthly P&L statement, you're like, why are we spending this much for chips? And Nvidia is marking us up. Andy, buy Nvidia or put them out of business, or do this on our own, or all the above. That's going to happen. If you're still here in a couple years, my solo Amazon brief, maybe I'll remove the Walgreens and CVS predictions that I said, get bearish on these names, Amazon's going to destroy them. Happened. The next target I'm going to put up there is, I remember years ago when I told my members to get bearish on NVIDIA because Amazon's going to make their own effing chips and put NVIDIA out of business. Okay? I'm pretty damn sure that's going to happen. I mean, how many phone numbers seriously can they be spamming you from? Election day. I can't wait for this thing to be over. All right. Tech John's AI. We already talked about that. Let me move that over here. So election day, Fed meeting, that's it. These are the biggest thing. There's some earnings that I was caring about. I don't know where my card went, but I'm not going to care about them too much because they weren't that important. Okay, where are we? We are present right now, Whiz. We are in between moving averages. So this is sniper. Literally, you see this right here. That's small area. That's sniper alley. You should expect things like this: rip down, rip up, rip down, rip up. You could have been shooting snipers in, because most likely what was not going to happen right here. That was most likely not, it wasn't going to smash through the 50 unless Iran did their thing, or breaking news, Kamala's dropped out of the race. Something, I mean, or actually the market would have gapped up. But anyway, learn this, folks. Again, I was flying yesterday doing all sorts of shit, but this is free. How many times have I told you the market doesn't? Here was the last sniper alley opportunity in between the 20 and the 50. Look at that one right here, folks. 3 to 4, that was 4 days of sniper alley. Does everybody understand this? As the magnets get closer to each other, the Pong, that's how old I am, our first video game, right? Pong. It's going to do this. Now, kind of like, let me steal my Iron Condor intro. Iron Condors are great until they're not. So Sniper Alley is probably going to end today. And you're seeing it right now. We're up here at 57.60, which is almost back up to the 20-day moving average. We might even get a run up to that, 57.75. If you want a bearish sniper shot, I'd put it up here at the at 57.75. I'd go take a look at that one. So, but anyway, let's keep going because I want to train first. The training is sniper alley, sniper alley, sniper alley. I mean, there was kind of one right there, but it was a day, like down to the 50 and back up to the 20. Okay. So, Barry, we can talk about that in a second. Charles, are you saying Amazon would sell their chips to other companies? Well, Charles, great question, Charles. Very smart guy. He's our Morgan Stanley guy. So, Charles, let's look at the FedEx and UPS example. In my solo Amazon brief, in a September 21 headline, it says, Amazon is now carrying all their stuff internal. Okay. 3 months later, November of 2021, Amazon now carrying cargo for outside people. And then 2 years later, Amazon is now larger than FedEx and UPS. So, Charles, I think that's the progression. Amazon is going to do what? Don't buy any of the NVIDIA shit, make our own stuff. We just bought, or that's Microsoft, 3 Mile Island, but they're buying they're buying all these power plants and maybe even doing their own nuke thing. Amazon, Aaron can give us the intel on this. Amazon's going to be getting a nuke stuff. So, Charles, I think Amazon likes to do the crawl, walk, run. We're going to do it internal, baby. We're going to save money, making our own chips. Then they're going to do what? Because when we think about it, Charles, NVIDIA is what? Chips. That's pretty diversified. It isn't diversified at all. So Amazon can do what? Chips, Amazon Prime, Amazon Air, Amazon Pharma, Amazon Web Services. Amazon has everything. They make money on all of this shit and can feed it. So that's a couple earnings. I briefed you on this at Amazon. Was like Andy Jassy said, we're making a shitload of money in all our other verticals and we put it into our AI stuff. So they're going to be able to develop all this stuff if or when Amazon gets to a point where they're making NVIDIA style quality chips. What do you think they're going to do with the price? Breaking news, the Amazon 3000 chip that makes the NVIDIA chip look slow is a nickel and they charge $1,000. It'll be over with. I get marked down the date and time of this brief. I guarantee you this is going to happen. If I were Andy Jassy or Jeff Bezos, this is what I would do. NVIDIA is not diversified in and of itself. Amazon is. So that's pretty tight. Okay, so speaking of Amazon, I legged into this morning in Iron Condor. Why? Because I saw the turn. Let's go look at it. It's a perfect turn. So yesterday we put on a bear call spread up here at the money straddle. And I told you, and I so close, I posted it Friday. I was on the road. I said, hey, I would fade the Amazon pop here. So if you put a bear call spread on Friday, you're welcome. I was late. I did it yesterday. So I said, what? Let's wait to see if we're going to leg into an iron condor. It's filling that half the gap is here, folks. 192.5. It got down to 195 and made a turn. So it's almost like the Chipotle or Starbucks thing. Gap up on earnings, kind of hover, and then hang. If it goes up, it's bullish. Keep an eye on the bear call spread. Okay. But for now, since it didn't even come close to filling the gap, which is 192.5, that's bullish. So let's leg into an iron condor. The other thing that I said I wouldn't leg into an iron condor is if what happened? It did this and then sneezed that way. If it sneezed that way or gave a head nod in that direction, I would have said, nope, just sit in the bear call spread, make my money. So since it didn't do that, there's two commit criterias. Criterias aren't plural there, Whiz. Two leg into an iron condor. So I looked at the money straddle before we started. Damn it, I did not get filled on that iron condor. So I'll step you through it. We're at 190, almost 197. There is no 197. There's a 197.5 strike. So the money straddle, sell to November 8th, $5.20, which is 1040. So the upside to the straddle is 202.5. Sound familiar? The bottom is 192.5. Sound familiar? So the iron condor would be, why am I not getting filled? Damn it. Man. All right, well, let's just copy this. 44 cents, that sucks. All right, sell the 192.5 puts, buy the 190 puts at 44 cents. Let me grab a screenshot. When I fired this trade this morning, I had a lot higher credit. Oh, I didn't get filled, man. I was right there. Save. Amazon. Bull put spread. 11.5. Okay, while you're looking at this screen, you double the credit you take in. There's 88 cents. Just double it. That's the credit I would look to get out of. If Amazon, for whatever reason, hovers here and pitches down, holy crap, anarchy, riots tonight, Iran invades Israel, market implodes, I'd eject maybe at 88 cents. Now, we go over to the metric screen right here. We're risking 206 to make 44. Now, unfortunately, as Amazon's starting to run away from me here, this is underneath, not unfortunately, I'm just stating a fact. This is underneath my solo spread criteria. Remember, for a credit spread, I do not place a credit spread under a 1 to 0.25 risk to reward. This is a 1 to 0.21. However, comma, since I have an offsetting the bear call spread already, this is okay for me. So if you're sitting here saying, I didn't get the bear call spread yesterday, would you just do this spread for the week? The answer would be no, I would not. Would I do it as part of an iron condor? Yes, I would. Does everybody understand that? Because the risk to reward is just too low as a standalone spread. Okay. So this would be the less aggressive trade. Okay. The more aggressive trade, let's throw the chart up in the background. The less aggressive trade would be, I'm sorry, the more aggressive trade would be 195, 192. Let me just throw some yellow in here. 195 aggressive, 192.5 less aggressive. Okay, let's go look at the 195. 195, it had a strong bounce off of it, folks. I mean, that's just, we're looking at technicals now. So if you went up a little, and let me brief you. If I looked at this trade at the beginning of the brief and it was 46 cents plus or minus 2 cents, and now you're looking at it like, hey, Whiz, it's outside of the range you gave me. It's outside of the range I gave you because it's going up. So in this case, I'd go, it's outside of the range, the 2 cent range Whiz gave me. That means I might have to, say it with me, adjust the strikes. In this case, I'd adjust the strikes up to the 195, 192.5. Everybody give me a vertical head nod. Okay, now let's look at the metrics. Risk in 181 to make 69. 67% probability of a max profit. So it's still kind of a decent looking trade here, man. The risk to reward is a healthy 1 to 0.38. Okay. So this one, a little bit more aggressive. But looking at the technicals, Jerome gives us 25 as expected and is dovish, and Trump wins. Whoa, you get a Trump win, a dovish Jerome, the bear call spread might be in trouble, folks. We'll have a rip your face off relief rally. Okay. So, any questions on that? Any questions on that? Legging into an iron condor. This one ran away from me. I had it in at 46 cents. I'm going to wait. I'm going to see, TJ, I like where you're thinking because I was about to say, I'm going to see if we're going to fade as the day goes on. I mean, a rip your face off rally into election night. I think this is going to run out of airspeed. I mean, it's a 40 point, 50 point run in SPX into the election. I get ready for the turn here. Let's open this up a little bit. 2, 4. There's a big candle. I like that one. Look at TJ's spread. I like that one, folks. You already made 10 cents on that one. That's a good looking trade right there, folks. $1.30. Risking 370 to make 130. That's a good looking trade, man. I'd fire that one. Sell a today 57.80, buy the 57.85. Okay. If we are going to keep rallying, folks, where do you think it's going to go up to? Where do I think it's going to go up to? We got another 11 points to go up to 57.75. We could go all the way up to that. Oh, wait. Didn't press fire yet because I had a 2, 2, 4, 6 with a red that I thought was big, and then it stopped with that. So I'm going to sit. I'm going to have this one under the trigger. Now it's confusion, right? 2. Let me open this up. It was 2, 4 that were hovering, and the 6, when I looked at it a second ago, it looked like a big candle. I was going to fire, and I didn't because I saw that print. So I use a 2-minute chart. I don't use one, man. It gives me agita. I've had too much coffee and it's just, it's a little much. Yeah, no thanks. I can't even look at a minute chart. 3 minutes is too long to me. 2 minutes is a nice interval down. Let's keep that one. I'm going to keep that one under the trigger. There you go. If you get a nice, come on, red. There we go. Now it's a good two. Yeah, I'd fire that one. See if you can get $1.40. And it's running away. Let's try $1.30. There's the can. That's what I wanted. That slam right there. Let me drop this one right away since it's a sniper in the hunters. Trade alerts. New SPX day. Bear call spread. Ah, crap. I meant to at everyone. At everyone. There we go. All right, I want to talk about some more SPX, folks. RTX. If we have time, Eli, if not, I can do that tomorrow. I want SPX trudge and hedge discussion here, or bullish. We have to talk through that. Okay, so here we go. Not going to relitigate everything I've already talked to you through. Iran attacks Israel. Israel says, you know what? Joe already told us we can take the gloves off. Oil, nukes, holy shit. Elections behind us. Remember, folks, when something is known, it's known. I do care who wins, but I really don't give a shit. Every time Obama was on the TV or Biden, I just I'm like, I just can't even believe I'm living in this thing. But so that's what's going to happen when Kamala Harris wins the presidency. And it'll be one of the worst things to happen for women in our lifetime. Kind of like Barack Obama. Colin Powell, God bless his soul, should have been the first African-American president. Moderate Republican, right up the middle. His wife, Alma, thought somebody would kill him. I don't know if that's kind of true love if your wife is telling you you can't do something and you actually don't do it. But anyway, it's going to be bad. Anyway, here's what I'm getting at. We need some, we need two trades. Here's what I'm rambling through. We made Phil, I think it was 40 grand in SPX trades based on $100,000 model portfolio in here, dueling double verticals, didn't we? Okay. So once the election and Jerome are behind us, it's either going to be rip your face off rally or holy shit, the world's at war and Harris is going to get us all killed. Or, say it with me, both. Both. For every person in this room that says, holy shit, you know, world at war, all sorts of crazy stuff, there's another person that's going to say Santa Claus rally, rip your face off rally into the end of the year, right? So I almost will lead with a bullish one first, but we can have dueling ones on. Barry, I'm not sure what you're asking. The answer is yes. I would do a synthetic stock on Amazon today. So yesterday in Solo Amazon, Barry, I told new people, you're not new, but I said, hey, if you're looking for a new synthetic stock, I would absolutely do it. So the answer is yes, if that's what you're asking. The most recent synthetic stock trade we did in Solo Amazon was on September 26th, okay? And it was at the 190 strike, okay? So if you don't have an Amazon synthetic stock on, the answer is yes. I would absolutely do Amazon synthetic stock. I mean, I can't be more bullish on that. It would be out to Jan of 2027, and it would be there's no 197.5 strike. So you'd have to do the 195s, 195 puts, 195 calls, and I think we sold yesterday. We sold the 202.5 calls against our synthetic stock. I wouldn't sell the 202.5 calls out the Friday. I'd probably do the 200s since Amazon has come down a little bit. The 200s would be, see, I have the existing bear call spread out the Friday. I said sell the 202.5s for the synthetic stock. All right, there's your Amazon discussion. And then, like I said, RTX, if I have, what time is it, 10:50? All right, let's go SPX here, folks. Santa Claus, folks, we're already in November. We're in November. Jerome speaking Thursday, giving us 25. Most likely will give us porridge. I don't think he's going to go hawkish, folks. Unless, let me red team myself. Election's over with. Kamala won or Trump won. I'm going to be fired eventually. I should probably leave. I can be honest. That's a distinct possibility, folks. Election's over with. He gave us a cut in front of the election. People are going to write books about that. Nice political cut right in front of the election, Jerome. You couldn't have waited until after the election in November? Nah. Anyway, what if he tells the truth this week? Trump won. I'm going to get fired. Things suck. Or things are okay. I'm not going to keep cutting. Whatever. I'm rambling. Here's what I'm getting at is nobody's going to give a shit. All we're going to care about is Jerome. It's November. You should have gotten a calendar reminder on your calendar a week or two ago that said what? I tell you right around Halloween of every year, you should get a calendar reminder that says what? Seasonal trades. Seasonal trades. XRT, Visa, Amazon, XLY, right? So I haven't looked at Visa in years. I just kind of stick with Amazon, right? But I believe, barring World War III, we will see an end of year rally. We will see the Christmas rally. Okay. So what's this say? I think that's wrong, Rick. We talked about this at the beginning. Scott, you guys need to battle this out. It's 96% for a 25 cut, not a 50. This is wrong. It is it's right here. The consensus, it is right there. From 5 to 475. That's the consensus. There is a 0% probability for 50 or like 3%. All right, we gotta go. So I'd be looking at a bullish double vertical. Is that the UK? Maybe that's the UK. Maybe it's the wrong country. I thought that was wrong. So from here, let's go out at least a month. Boom goes SPX. Let's go out at least a month to cover Thanksgiving. It's December. People are nice and, ho, ho, ho. Let's go out. December 24th, SPX. And Amazon should be swinging down too. Did I adjust my pricing on that spread? Nope, I'm going to wait on my spread. I think Amazon, if SPX keeps kind of doing that, I think Amazon might come down to meet me here. Yeah, I'm going to hang. All right, let me stay focused here, folks. SPX, December 24th, Merry Christmas, 45 days. What is the 5,700 is the 50-day moving average, 5,700. 57, 56.95. Okay. I would do, this is the bull put spread I would do out a month from now. You're essentially putting, you're putting a bottom in, right? let me hedge. Let me red team everything, man. Iran, oil, tax nukes, Israel. There is, welcome to trading. There is a risk that I am completely wrong. Between now and December 24th, the holiest of nights, boom. That's why we can have dueling double verticals on. Right now, I prefer to get the bullish one on first. Okay. So, and just about every time, folks, obviously except that one, we've hit, we'll go through, but that was 3 days. It's been I can open up the chart. Let's just open up the chart. Hitting this 50 has been what? A buy signal. Let's go 1 year. We are approaching the 1-year anniversary of Jerome Powell saying, no, I need to keep raising rates. People are suffering too. 2 weeks later, I'm going to cut rates and party for all my friends. I mean, hell, we never even touched. This was the dance of the 20-day here. Look at that. Only a handful of times have we hit the 50. So enough rambling out of me. I do the 50. You can go lower if you want. If you want to be a little bit more conservative, knock yourself out. Go down to, I don't know, 50, 56.75 or something like that. Let's go price that. That's pretty good. That's right. That's my standard. Look at that. Let's do this one. This gives you 25 points of love. Sell a D's 24 56.75 put. Buy the 56.70 put. Okay. And obviously SPX is ripping all over the place here. Let me just grab a screenshot. $1.35 plus or minus 10 cents, maybe 15 max is the range I'd try and get filled at. SPX 11.5. And then the risk to reward is 1.41. You're risking 355 to make $145. This is a good looking bull put spread. So that gives us a little, hey man, it smashed through the 50 a little bit. If we get a couple drill bits for whatever reason through the 50, this will give you some cushion. I like this trade. So good saying that. The more aggressive round number would be 5,700. Right? So it's a good looking trade. I'm going to keep an order in there at $1.45. Okay. And I'll add the pictures of the trades here in a second just to get them out quickly. I'm doing this. Now, the top, you could either just you could just do this. SPX D's bull put spread. You could just do this. You could do nothing. You could use this credit that you take in to buy some upside calls. You could do a whole host of things, but what's the record highs? Maybe you go out if you truly think, man, we're gonna have a Santa rally into the end of the year. You go up to, what's the 52-week high here on SPX? 58.78. So 58.80 is the high technically. Yeah, I mean, you could do something like that. And you can also, on some of these, I go a little wider, right? We could do something like go 58.75 and then 5,900 to give it some room to run, something like that. Yeah. Something like that. I go 25 wide. So a normal bull put spread about 5 wide, and then give it a little, you know, you're essentially saying, hey man, I'm long calls and I'm putting a $25 roof on it, right? Or you could just do the long calls up here, but then they're pricey, right? This is why I'm selling a higher strike call. So this would be a bullish double vertical, right? Let me grab screenshots of this stuff. As I'm grabbing screenshots, folks, let me remind you, I can be completely wrong. If you just sat through all this rambling and said, I can't believe any of this, we're going to absolutely implode. Call spread. Guess what you do? You take everything I just did on SPX and you do the exact opposite. Okay? You're the one that, oh, I'm a contrarian with. I could not disagree with you more. Fill in the blank with your commit criteria for whatever your opposite of me is. Everything that I just said is wrong. Okay, that's the straddle. Good to know. Okay. Exactly right, Rick. I will repeat, the guy's not an idiot. Bull call spread legging into bullish double vertical. So Rick, I'm with you, man. Warren Buffett moving to cash in the fall, in the, you know, as we're talking Santa Claus rally, you know, that would be the commit criteria for the opposite there, right? All right, the bear call spread is up 50% in 15 minutes. You can close it if you want. It's got a 96% probability of max profit, but you're at a 50% profit. Everybody get that? The 246. And where did we fade right back to? Where did we fade right back to? To the 50. 57.50. Look at that. We sniped right there and it went right back to here, 57.50. I'd close that spread for 40, 50% profit. Why? Because we could probably consolidate here and rip higher. So I'd take profits on that trade. Everybody get that? Not a bad call, you know, Graham. He might be doing some tax stuff like, I think Kamala's got this, and you know, yeah, that's a good point. So not a bad way to look at things is he's hanging. He's moving the cash, doesn't know who's going to be in charge, and I'm leaving. Yep. That's not a bad thing to potentially do. All right, I went a little bit over. Let's have a good rest of the day, man. Well, whatever. We're all Americans. Whoever wins will be my president. I will pray that we have a unified nation. It's not going to happen. Half of this country is going to be furious by Friday, and the other half is going to be quite happy. Unfortunately, if it goes the way I think it's going to go, one half might be furious, but they're not going to do anything about it. The other half will be so happy, and they're going to spike the football, and we got a mandate and all sorts of crazy shit. That's what cracked me up last time with Joe. I'm like, dude, barely a victory. They're doing the whole, we have a mandate, it's a victory. I remember when, you know, Ronald Reagan winning 49 states is a mandate. Walter Mondale won his one state. That's a mandate, folks. When you barely win and you get into office and go, I'm going to go ape shit, you're a jackass. Joe Biden was a jackass for doing that. I'm a moderate. I'm Uncle Joe from Scranton. I got in office and went 90 degrees to the left and went super crazy ape shit. Men can have babies and play sports and you name it. This dude is now a female rear admiral. What? Yeah, this is the mandate you gave me. and I can take a pen and wipe out student loan debt. No, you can't. You have no authority to do that. The Supreme Court just said you don't. Well, we're going to do it anyway. What? So anyway, if it goes the way I think it's going to go, I'm not going to be happy and I'm not going to care. For the 8 millionth time here at Top Gun Options, I'm going to remind you to take care of your family and your friends and your squadron mates here at Top Gun Options. That's all we got. Everything else, I have almost nothing in common with people who want to kill a child at the moment of birth, who think open borders is fine, who think funding endless overseas wars is fine, who thinks that J-Lo is smart. I just don't, I'm not Americans with these people. And I mean that, right? Why would I like jump on a hand grenade to save people who just aren't even in the same, we really do have a balkanization of the United States. And it's sad. It's sad. We're a fractured country. Joe Biden was thought to be a unifier, right? I'll bring us together. Holy shit, man. The books will be written about this, at least from people I respect, about what a nightmare. Exactly, Ken. Let me end on a high note here. Namaste. At the end of the day, I love Kamala Harris. I love Joe Biden. I love you. We are all perfect souls. I said perfect souls, not perfect human beings. This shell, the Whiz Fighter shell, sucks and needs a lot of work, but the soul is flawless. I guarantee you. So I do honor and recognize the light in every one of us, even if I disagree with you politically. And I hope you can reciprocate. I'll let you know tomorrow morning how the Pat Bet David thing goes tonight. I will be leaving and going to bed. Clearly, nobody's staying up to watch the election results because it's not going to happen. And I'll see you tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Don't forget to register. If you can, post this on your social media, man. Be a good. You're welcome, Scott. Be a good wingman, and I'm glad y'all got out too, because look, what to do? It bounced right off 57.50. It's almost like we know what we're doing. So, all right, guys, I got to go. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you're hedged. We have to hedge to the downside, and maybe we'll do that tomorrow. Fights on. Namaste and basi. Whiz out. God bless and see you tomorrow.